Are you ready for your next crazy egg story of the week?
I love
Well,
it.
apparently, there is a new source for eggs for those dealing with shortages in grocery stores. And you'll never guess, now you can buy eggs on Facebook. Well, that's not really a shock because I live out in rural areas and we've been selling eggs on Facebook for years.
Mhm.
But apparently, the number of people selling eggs on Facebook has exploded. So the Facebook marketplace, I can only imagine is being flooded with like fake egg, sellers. But, because you hear about those people buying like an Xbox off the Facebook marketplace and they get home and they realize they have a box of rocks, you know? So I can't imagine like if you get home and you open it and you realize you got Easter eggs, like the plastic Easter eggs instead of real eggs,
Painted wooden eggs.
right? So this is interesting because it shows that whenever you have a supply and demand issue, whereas right now the demand is really high, especially due to panicking,
Mm.
and the supply is down because of the bird flu, that people are always going to profit. Now,
Yeah.
this is not saying that the mom and pop, farms that are, opening up their egg sales is a bad thing because these are people that have probably been selling eggs for years. It's not
Right.
like they're all of a sudden trying to price gouge Facebook, but it has opened up some new business opportunities, including renting chickens. Okay. So there is a company called Rent the Chicken where not only do they help connect people and chickens, but they provide all the necessary supplies.
Okay.
So it was mentioned that interest or inquiries into renting chickens at Rent the Chicken are they have surged over 500% just in February alone. So for giggles, I went to their website, rentthechicken.com, and I live in Georgia, and that's out of their area for purchase. So they have an out of area purchase package where I could pay $1,550 and I would get a real Amish made Rent the Chicken portable chicken coop. Now it would ship flat and I would have to assemble it myself,
Yeah.
but it's easy to assemble apparently and it's adjustable. I would get 3 almost ready to lay hens, which those 3 hens would produce on average 12 to 21 eggs per week.
Right.
I would also get a food dish, a water dish, a bag of bedding, 20 pounds of non GMO or organic chicken feed,
Mhm.
instruction sheets, video tutorials, and a copy of Fresh Eggs Daily. So I cannot imagine, and I could not really find time frame. So it appears this is an initial investment, not like a monthly rental.
Okay.
But I have so many questions, and but it all comes down to that they've proven that owning chickens typically is not cheaper than just buying eggs at the grocery store. But I give it to companies that offer options. I'm sure
Yeah.
that they are experiencing a surge in sales, and that's great
Oh, for
for
sure.
them.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody loses in the market, somebody has to win. So, but I do believe that it will flip back the other way and egg prices will go down
Yeah.
and at least get back to somewhat normal.
Right.
But
No, ingenuity is great though. And I
it,
don't know, maybe if somebody's been, but I don't know. Do you like, I guess you could send the chickens back. I need
but
to,
it's a portable coop. And so I'm just thinking like if you've ever been in a chicken coop, they get pretty dirty.
yeah.
Like and if
Do
you've
you
ever
want that back?
seen like okay, if you've ever been to one of those rent to own furniture places, you do not want to see the furniture that comes back. That
I
gets like repossessed. So I'm just thinking like what would a repossessed chicken coop look like?
slap full of poop. That's for
That's what
sure.
I'm saying. Because, I mean, chickens, especially when you have a coop, it requires regular maintenance. It's not
Yeah.
just as easy as you go out there and pick eggs out of the egg shooter and you're good to go. I mean,
Chickens are a good bit of work though. And
they
like
are.
you get an ornery kiddo who decides that it's gonna Easter egg on you throughout the yard, like there's not a whole lot you can do about it. That chicken has its own whole ass personality. And if he's gonna
Well,
hide eggs on you, or she hide eggs on you in your monkey grass, there's nothing you can do about it. Ask me
well,
how I know.
I know what you know. But so in eggs, I mean, well, in chickens, they get sick.
Yeah.
They have egg complications.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And so it brings up the question, like, what happens if one of your chickens gets sick? What happens if your chicken gets the bird flu? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, are you responsible for that? Or like, this just brings up a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, it just mentioned the startup cost. And so I don't even know if this is for a set amount of time. I mean, I will give it to companies being innovative. They obviously had a business model and it's of course exploding right now, but they couldn't have expected that this was going to happen, especially when
Right.
you think that just in January, egg prices surged 15.2% according to the government. It was the largest increase in egg prices since June 2015, which you'll remember that was the last time we had a bird flu outbreak.
Yep.
And it accounted for nearly 2/3 of the total monthly rise in food prices. And it says on an annual basis, meaning if you looked at egg prices from a year ago, they are up 53%. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Wild.
Yeah.
I think in some scenarios, the horseback riding place that McKay goes to, they have many chickens. They got ducks too, and they sell the eggs. And I'm pretty sure their eggs might be cheaper than like half of what's in the grocery store right now.
Yeah.
And those
And
are
I will say
fresh.
that I have noticed that brown eggs and organic eggs are way cheaper in some cases than like your conventional white eggs. And so if you're having problems finding eggs, you got to like flip the blinders off, don't shop on autopilot. You need to actually look
Yeah.
at all the egg options because you might find that your standard white, is not the cheapest. You may have to go with other options.
Yep. I'm a big fan of Lidl's pasture raised eggs. Like the price of their eggs in general is usually much better. So maybe it's about where you're going too. Like if you pass by like a Lidl or an Aldi, but you don't typically stop in, swing in. You never know because usually their egg prices are really, really good.
Someone had said to me too that they were going to like a small Mexican style grocery store, that egg
Mhm.
prices there were much better than at some of the big grocery stores. So,
Yep.
check your ethnic markets. They may have some better deals.
Yep.
So
Get
let us know
creative.
down below, what is the egg prices in your area? Have you bought eggs off of Facebook? And have you seen or heard of any egg scams where, people are posting about eggs that don't exist? Because I just have a feeling that is definitely happening right now.